In this video, I'm going to give you 10 yards of distance. I've said it, it's a huge, huge statement to make. And if you're doing this fault that I'm going to talk about in this video, then you will definitely get 10 yards, at least with every single club. So this video could be an absolute game changer for you. There's two huge drills you've got to do. First one, please hit that subscribe button. If you've done that, there's 5 yards because of all the other videos. Then the second one, we're going to be talking all about wrist angles. I'm going to explain in a bit more detail what happens when we cup the wrists. Okay, because everyone says, don't cup the wrist, you want to bow the wrist. There's a lot more to cupping than just the wrist going like this, because we have a lot of forearm rotation, ulnar and radial movement within the forearms that also go along with the cupping and the flexion of wrists as well. So really important that you can kind of understand that. And I think anytime you understand something, it makes it 10 times easier for us to be able to change. Now, these swings look a lot like you, where you've got that cupping of that left wrist, that lead wrist at the top of the backswing, and you're seeing what feels like decent speed in your golf swing, but nowhere near as much height as nowhere near as much distance as you'd expect, but loads of height. Then this is why this video, you need to continue to watch this video, because I want to deliver you a straighter wrist angle, less rotation in the forearms, and most importantly, a more controlled club face. More controlled club face will give you more distance. That's why I'm saying minimum 10 yards, depending on the severity of your fault. So what I often see, if I take my setup here, using hack motion, if I've got 13 extension and I'm minus 28 in ulnar, and I open that club face in the takeaway, I've now increased my extension by double almost to 26, okay? And my radial movement has gone to +5. So I've gone from an ulnar position to a radial position, which is basically here to here. Now, if I rotate my forearm, I open the face. If I cut my wrists, I add loft. If I stick that down into impact, no matter how good your lower body is, that is a flop shot with an A-time, okay? So really important that we can neutralize some of these numbers. Now, baseline is always set up. Everyone's different, depends on your grip, depends on your hand size, it depends on everything, believe it or not. So if I take my setup, positive 15 with extension, negative 29 with ulnar, as opposed to be kind of pointing outwards. So if I set up, I'm going to move into takeaway. I've now gone into 15 degrees of flexion. So if anything, I've now started to close the club face early on in the swing. And that's the feeling I want all of you golfers to get if you're a cupped position. So you've got to feel like the face of the club is always pointing at the golf ball. That's a great little drill. I love that one. So face points at the golf ball now at setup, and it stays pointing at it even as you come into this takeaway position where the shaft of the club is parallel to the target line. Okay, so that face is pointing straight at the golf ball. From here, I swing up to the top, and then I release everything down, weight moves to my left and the body turns, and straight away I see a lower ball flight already from that speed of swing. This is something that I personally struggle with a lot. I take the golf club slightly outside and slightly steep, so I have a slightly cupped top of the backswing position, which for me therefore means that I have to release the golf club and I have to flip into impact, and I hate it. And I've been working really hard within the hack motion kind of drills to help me. And one of the really key, one of the best ones is kind of swinging to the top, waiting for that number, waiting for the chime. And you've seen this in a previous video. It kind of says, right, you're in the right position. Now release, and you can hit the shot on the way through, and you'll see a completely different ball flight. Just as a general kind of drill here, I've got a GC3 in front of me, so I'm going to be able to give you some numbers. So if I go into a really cupped position at the top of the backswing, I'm going to swing this club at 40 to 50, well, let's say 50-ish miles an hour, 50 maximum 60. So I go up to the top, full swing with a cupped wrist. Really high ball flight, 56 miles an hour. Carry 83 yards, okay? Launch angle 26 degrees. Right now, if I get this takeaway correct, okay, and I do the same swing speed, that's carried 95 yards, okay? Launch angle dropped down to 20 degrees. So straight away, 6-degree improvement in launch angle, which is one of the key things we want to try and get rid of when we're cupping the wrists, but also more distance as well, which is massively important. Angle of attack will generally be steeper as well because the golf club is not releasing as early. So we'd often see, I think originally with the cupped wrist, I was 2 degrees on the down. Now it's 5.3 on the down. So again, huge, huge differences. So the way we want to try and get this into setup, positive 17, flexion -2, so in essence from a cupped position I've gone more bowed, and then rotate through. 10 yards of distance guaranteed as a minimum. Huge, huge, huge changes. And it all comes from that takeaway. Get the golf ball, club head pointing at the golf ball when the shaft of the club is parallel to the ground. Just rotate your body upwards to the top of the backswing and then release. Much more of a powerful, penetrating ball flight. Incredible data. I love data. I love a bit of data. I was rubbish in school, but now that I'm older, I love a bit of data. Massively important for you to kind of understand, even without hack motion, why your golf ball is heading into orbit and heading nowhere forwards in comparison to where it could be. Many golfers want to increase their speed to increase their distance, which is correct. You can absolutely do that. But if you're not optimizing what you're already doing, it's also a complete and utter waste of time. So give this a try. Let me know how you get on. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you for watching. Massive thank you to Hack Motion as well for providing me with this mega piece of equipment. And I'll see you in the next video.
Nearly missed the ball.
I think you jumped up on the way we sprang.
You've only got a collar on it.
That was belted. Get in.